This company is clearly tapping into people's emotions. So what can we learn from what they did that can be helpful to your company? Two great guests to give us some insight into that. Marketing expert and change agent Jeffrey Hayzlett is the head of the Hayzlett Group, and business expert Larry Winget calls himself the pit bull of personal development. He is also a best-selling author, and his latest book is called Grow a Pair: How to Take Back Your Life, Your Business, and Your Sanity. Larry, nice name.
Thanks.
That is a memorable name for a marketer. All right, well, great to see both of you guys.
It's always great to be here.
You know what?
Yeah.
What I was thinking as I was watching this, a bunch of things about why they're successful, but one of them was something someone told me this weekend, which was tell, don't sell. These people clearly walk the walk. They're experts. They got the expert to talk to the customers, the customer who was an expert. And that is the best marketing you could do, right, Jeffrey?
Well, always about being the brand that you are, being the promise that you want to deliver. That's what brand is all about, that and something you put on a cow or a horse. But, does fear work? Absolutely. But every emotion works. It's just, do you want your brand associated with that? I mean, certainly there are companies. Remember the Y2K scare when we went out and got prepared and people used that and then nothing happened? But, the key thing for you is, do you want fear associated with your brand? Is it part of your message? Does it relate back to what you do? So let's use Listermint. Listermint's a great example of that, or Listerine. You can tell which brand I absolutely use. They use fear of cavities, halitosis, and all the things to be able to make sure you have good breath. So there's lots of different ways to be able to use fear.
That's so interesting. Larry, I was about to say the same thing, which is fear is not necessarily fear of a terrible disaster, but
Dying.
it could be, fear of I'm not dressing correctly for work. And so is fear a good way to look at this in the same way as looking, what problem am I solving?
We need to understand that what we heard growing up about love makes the world go around is an outright lie. Fear makes the world go around. Everything we do is because of fear. Never kid yourself about that. It absolutely works. Turn over to the religious channels. We're not selling heaven. We're selling fear of hell. And we don't sell watches so you can be on time. We sell watches so you won't be late. We buy deodorant because we're afraid of smelling bad and people won't like us. Everything we do is based on fear. And people buy from me, but not because they're hopeful to find out how to be successful. It's because they're afraid to be a failure. You've got to learn how to use fear correctly and not just hit them over the head with it and scare them so much they won't buy, but use it to sell.
So should we all be taking a look at our companies, no matter what we sell, and say, okay, what fear are we answering? Turn it around?
It gets to the message directly, and I think that's the key question you want. And he's exactly right. That's what we're always selling in some way. We might be delivering the message a little bit different. You can even sell fear with humor. There's lots of different ways in which you can do that, whether it's about bad breath, whether it's about car safety. It's about everything. But in the essence, what we're trying to do is the anti-side. And it really gets back to some really fundamental things that we learned back in psychology class. Fessner theory of cognitive dissonance, which everybody does. Every politician practices every single day. What they do is try to get you off the fence. So they say something positively or negatively to move you off that fence. And that's what advertising is doing. That's what selling is doing, is to be able to move that. And fear is a great motivator and always has been. Again, but do you want to be associated with the ultimate fear?
Right.
And that's really a thing that I think you want to be able to really have a good understanding of what your brand is. I mean, you look at Larry Winget, you know exactly where he stands. When he has a book that says, grow a pair, you know exactly it's going to be direct. And that message is very, very clear.
Oh, you don't know Larry very well. He's not direct at all. Larry's just a shrinking flower over there in the corner. Larry, one other thing that I took from the piece is this idea that he listened to his customers. His customer said, this isn't the product I want something else, and immediately he changed it.
Well, there are a lot of great business lessons in the video we just saw. He does listen to his customers, and his customers actually determined what he was going to eventually sell, and that's the stuff that's selling best. We should all listen to our customers. And he hired a customer to run the front desk because the front desk needed that kind of expertise. I think there's a lot to learn from that.
All right, Larry and Jeffrey, thank you for this advice or this discussion on this piece, and you guys stick around because we've got more with you in a minute.